You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when...
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
That was so disturbing.
Mr. Kenny Rogers, the gambler. I think he definitely qualifies as an absolute legend. Freaking legend. Passed away this past week. And he knew when to fold him, apparently, when this whole freaking coronavirus bullshit.
Yeah, talk about know when to hold him, know when to fold him really being a thing. He nailed it.
Get the hell out, yeah. So that's that was kind of weird. I mean, like, he's been around since, he was huge when I was born. He's
81.
Right, yeah. I mean, so it's he's been around my entire life. Kind of weird. But anyways, guys, welcome to episode 26 of the Life Short, Live Free podcast.
I thought it was 27.
Life Short, yeah, definitely.
26.
There's actually another guy that we just saw passed away today. Which this is a lot bigger for me because, like, growing up, like, we didn't have TV and shit growing up, so music was a lot bigger to me. So Mr. Joe Diffie, I mean, back in the day, he was a damn country star to me. So his song Third Rock from the Sun, I mean, come on, that's Johnson, you've heard this song before, right?
Yeah.
This was a fucking huge song for me growing up. I mean, this is another absolute. He's not as big as Kenny Rogers, but he's an absolute fucking legend of a country artist.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Well, I know the song. I know the song Third Rock from the Sun. I just didn't know Joe Diffie as, like, he wasn't like the country hero that, like,
he wasn't as big as Kenny Rogers. I'll admit that. Yes, right. I understand that. But to me, he was a huge. When I think of country, like when I think of classic country music, like growing up, he was the man. I mean, there's no other way to say it. That's what he was he was huge. He was a star. So, and he must have just passed away just recently today, like just within the last what. Was this today?
Day or two? I think it was today or yesterday.
Yeah, pretty big deal. So that's two big country stars that said, screw this whole coronavirus bullshit everybody's got going on. We're checking out, and I really can't blame them, though. Everything's wild lately.
Joe Diffie died from the coronavirus.
The 29th.
COVID-19 killed Joe Diffie.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's why he died.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Which is today.
That's wild. That's crazy.
So I don't think he wanted to check out, but it didn't give him any choice.
Hey, is there coughing going on over there?
That was me.
Yeah, we're not gonna allow that. I got the Glock 19 over there. We're just gonna end this shit. But
that still constitutes murder. So
it's self defense if you're coughing.
For me, it's seasonal allergies.
So, anyways, as crazy as this week has been for everybody, how was your guys' week? My life has not changed, none at all.
But I actually got busier because one of our guys did go down, not with COVID-19. He had he had like a bunch of liquid around his heart or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I finished all my stuff on the 25th and was planning on having 4 days off. And I was like, yeah. And then my boss calls me. He's like, want to make some extra money?
Yep.
Yeah, I do. So I've been venturing on way the hell up into South Dakota lately, and out kind of the middle of nowhere, out by like Santee and
Sioux Nation.
Yep. I was doing some Sioux Nation ag buildings the other day, and I've got to go do that the next 2 days.
Excellent.
So otherwise, it hasn't really changed.
Johnson, you're working from home. How you doing?
I'm actually enjoying it.
I figured you
I didn't
would.
know you were working from home.
Yeah. So for the last week, I've been working from home. I actually was kind of the tester for the rest of the company. They sent me home first.
Oh, the guinea pig.
Yeah, they must have been like, we need this guy out of
I
the
was gonna say
office.
that's what they told you. They're like, let's get this.
Everyone else
asshole
is
outta
still
here.
back there at the office.
Yeah.
Having a party every day because Johnson's gone.
There's literally been cake every day that you haven't been there.
Right. No, my boss has actually been taking it pretty serious. He's
good.
If you can stay home, stay home. If you have to come to the office, he ordered face masks and shit for everyone
Really?
in the company. Yeah, he just like every day you're getting a new mask, you're wearing gloves, you're
Sure.
he ordered a bunch of hand sanitizer and shit. He's not messing around with it. But I've been at home. I've actually been enjoying it. I can get more done than I thought I would get done. I thought I would be a lot more distracted being at home.
Mm-hmm.
But I think getting more done at home than I was in the office. Because I don't have people to talk to. I don't have the social aspect.
What about your wife and your kid?
I'm not.
He doesn't like talking to them.
It's not so much like, because like when I'm in the office, I can go talk to Hanson, I go talk to all the other guys that I work with,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just, you don't even think about it talking to them for 15 minutes,
Right.
But I don't even have to worry about talking to anybody. I just sit in my office at my house and just
The change for me
shred.
was difficult. Going from being, my entire life for 32 years, not 30, from when I
Right.
was, I worked in a body shop, and the change for me from working at home was fucking hard. 'Cause like all of a sudden, like you can do whatever you want all the time.
Yeah.
I can do whatever. I have kind of set hours, but I tell customers, hey, make sure you call before you show up and shit. So I can really do whatever the hell I want all the time. And you got to be extremely self-motivated. And some days are harder than others. Most days I do pretty good. I treat it like an 8 to 5. Well, it's not 8 to 5. It's more like,
You mean noon to 9?
no,
Right.
it's like if I'm doing good, I'm out in the shop by 9. Let's be honest. Most of the days is between 9 and 10.
11.
Most of the days you don't get up till 9.
Around, a lot of days. And then, but I'm in the shop until 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
A lot. But just treating it like a job, and it is what it is. But some days it's difficult, It's a nice day out. It's like 72 degrees, and you're like, yes, let's go golfing, But you can't do that because you got shit to do. But
Hey, Sam, I got news for you. That's difficult for everybody.
Yeah. No, for me, I get up at 5:30.
Weird.
Why is that weird?
I'm saying,
Sam
that was
hasn't-
sarcasm.
Sam hasn't
That's
gotten
when
up
you
at
get up.
5:30 in like 35 years.
No, I do, and I do when I go hunting occasionally. Not
Yeah.
real often though. But
No, I get up at 5:30, and like it's funny because like even working at home, my time hasn't changed. Like
right.
even though that 45-minute commute is gone, I still get up at 5:30. Get up. If I want to shower, I'll shower. If I don't,
You eat the skeet.
I don't. It doesn't really matter. I get up, I go make coffee, go make breakfast, whatever. If I get so this last week, about half the time I've been at work at like 6:15 to 6:30.
Do you have to check in with them and say, hey, I'm working, or it just is
No.
what it is?
No, realistic, like all they ever told me was, hey, be responsible, work your 8 hours, whether it's
Right. They trust you enough
7 to 3:30 or 9 to 5:30.
Yeah.
Like the other night,
they trust you enough that they're not worried about
right?
you.
The other day I had to run errands at some point during the day, and I was like, hey, I don't want to go get groceries at 6 o'clock at night when everything is already sold out and people have already gone to the store. I was like, I'd rather go in the morning. So
Mhm.
I told everybody, I said, hey, I'm gonna run some errands,
Mhm. Sure.
and I'll work late tonight. And I worked till like 7 o'clock that night, 6:30 or something.
Box,
But-
how's
I've been enjoying it, really.
how's shit going in the body shop?
It's slow now. This is the first Saturday I haven't voluntarily taken off in a very long time.
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
Probably.
Like how slow?
Ever.
Is it like really, really slow? You guys are kicking or you're sweeping floors and shit, or is
No,
it just,
because we got that piece of shit TA that's been in there for the last 8 years.
I
that we
assume Trans
have-
Am?
Yeah,
Okay.
that we have to fall back on, which is absolute garbage and never ruins everyone's life. But yeah, we don't have any actual
What
jobs
the
in there
hell's
right
wrong
now.
with that Trans Am that it ruins everyone's life?
I kind of
It's
like
garbage, and our boss is a freak.
I'd kind of like to know.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you explain more? Like,
No,
is
it'd
it
take a long time. I'd have to walk you around the car and show you everything. It's garbage.
it's just the car
Yes.
it has way too much wrong with it.
Yes, and he's going to try and sell it for way more than it's ever going to be worth, and it's never going to sell. And
What about
it's
that,
just it's losing him money is what it's doing.
So are you worried about it getting so slow that they send you home for a day or two?
I'm not. That'd be great, actually. I'd enjoy that.
Right. I'd enjoy that very much. Please do.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I'm not
my
worried.
boss was like, yeah, we have $78,000 of the backlog to do. He's like, we got plenty of stuff for you to do. I was like,
Yeah, and that's what I was telling you guys earlier. I was worried because what I do, let's be honest, I fucking bedazzle guns. That's basically what I do.
You make it sound pretty gay.
Oh,
did
well,
you
you know,
ever-
it's not.
I think he
did
does
you
that on
ever
purpose.
did you ever see the episode of Blue Mountain State where they were doing the vajazzling?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
This episode,
pretty
this
comparable.
episode of Life Short Live Free is sponsored by what is it? Tackle Spackle?
Tackle
Oh, yeah.
spackle.
By Tackle Spackle, new from Mattel.
Mattel. Oh
Mattel.
my god.
Oh man.
I forgot where I was. I forgot where I was going.
Johnson
with
and
this, but-
Johnson.
Actually, this episode is this whole podcast is sponsored by Shyworks Cerakote. We are Iowa's customer preferred Cerakote applicator. Find us at shyworks.com, facebook.com/Shyworks, and instagram.com/Shyworks. And as I was saying, my business is not a necessity. Like, it's just something people do when they got too much money and they want to make their guns look pretty. So I was really pleasantly surprised in the last 2
You
weeks.
haven't slowed down at all, have you?
No, it's got a lot busier, actually.
Yeah.
So my thinking is, well, there's been a lot more gun guys. There's been a lot of new gun buyers in the last few weeks. The freaking NICS has been absolutely freaking slammed. They cannot keep up. When you submit a background check right now, you're delayed along. I mean, it takes forever to get the shit back anymore. It's just been crazy busy. This will probably be a record month. The most background checks probably ever conducted.
Yeah.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. And people sitting at home bored, cruising the internet, cruising Facebook. Ooh, let's make my gun look pretty, shit like that. So, but I'm not going to complain. I'm going to take it while I can get it, and hopefully it keeps coming like that. So, but I think a lot of this too is as far as business goes. I mean, restaurants are shut down. Not essential services in a lot of states are shut down. So people are transitioning, trying to get more into the virtual realm of it. And let's be honest, this is going to last a long time. So the businesses that adapt and change and offer new ways to serve customers are going to be the ones that survive. And the ones that don't and just shut down and say, well, it is what it is, and don't try to change, those are going to be the ones that don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be very important for restaurants.
Well, like last week, Tosh and I ordered Texas Roadhouse, and they told us we ordered it at 5 something. They told us, okay, be here at 6. I think it was 6:30 or 6:40. I think, and I ordered it at like 5:50. So I was like, all right, that's acceptable. And I got there, and like I saw this dude go into the front door. So I go in the front door, and he's like, oh no, hey, you gotta turn around and go back out. I'm like, okay, you should probably wear something that says you at least work here, so people don't follow you in. I didn't say that, but I was kind of upset about it, just pissed the way he kind of treated me. And then I went back to my truck and I started sitting there thinking, I'm like, you know what? I got no reason to be pissed. These people are adjusting. They had to lay off 3/4 of their workforce.
Mm-hmm.
All they've got in there is the people that, there's probably like 5 people in there cooking all this food for everybody that's coming in, and the parking lot was full.
Doing the best they can.
And so I sat there for another 45 minutes waiting for my food, and he walks out and he goes, sorry about the wait. I said, hey, don't worry about it. I was like,
Well, that's like,
just glad you guys are doing business.
Yep.
That's like, I think my wife said that Olive Garden was doing like almost like 2-hour waits or something
Yeah. Yep. I read that on Facebook earlier.
because they can't have more than 10 people working,
right.
right? Because you're in a place and they're saying you can't have more than 10 people
Mm-hmm.
And those
at a
big,
place at
those
a
big,
time, and it
Yeah.
really makes you think. It's like, oh shit, they
And
do have a lot of people
what's really-
working in the kitchen a lot. of
What's
these
really
places.
cool is what's really starting to flourish in Sioux City is somebody created a Facebook group in Sioux City called Siouxland Eats to Go. And so I started following it. And there's so many restaurants that I'd never even heard of, and their food looks amazing. And a lot of them are these like little mom and pop Mexican places. There's this place over in Hamilton I've got to try. It's called Tony's Pizza. Or no, it's on Pierce Street. Sorry.
Super good.
Like, it looks freaking phenomenal.
Tony's is good. Yeah.
And I just like, so I've been like jotting these down. Like, I'm gonna eat here and here and here and here, and it's like, oh, there's some more.
And you know what? Those little places, that's the places we want. Like Olive Garden and Chili's and Texas Roadhouse, they're gonna be fine. You know, they're massive multi-billion-dollar, million-dollar corporations. The ones that I'm most worried about are like the ones here in town.
La Fiesta
Dewski's and the little coffee shop here that just started a year or two ago, and places like that. Those are the places I'm going to spend my money at.
Yep, I supported Dewski's last night. I went and got some wings. And
Yep. So and you know what is everybody's still spending money and doing the best they can to support the little places, and shit'll open back up and they'll be all right if we just do our part to support them. So.
And like my wife and I, we ordered from La Fiesta Chara the other night. You know, it's like a smaller Mexican place. Like I wanted to order from a place there in Hinton, you know, a real local place, and they've got a store in Sioux City and stuff, but they had actually closed all of their stores until April 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like we couldn't order from there, and we were just trying to find places to order from. But yeah, like you said, that Sioux City, you know, takeout to go or whatever the hell, eats to go, whatever that Facebook page was. My wife's part of that, and she's been finding places, and it's actually been a really good thing.
Like, there's some little Thai place over on just off of Wesley Parkway. I'm like, I drive by that place all the time. Never knew it was there.
Yeah. It's really cool to see everybody being so supportive of all these small restaurants and small businesses.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they
post
pictures of the way that people like array the food, and it looks awesome. And for the first time in my life, I can honestly say I want to try Ethiopian food because it looks delicious.
Yeah.
I feel like my stomach is.
I don't know about that.
I feel like my stomach's gonna hate me for like 10 days. But
speaking of deliciousness, we got a new. Actually, this is not new. I did it back 2 episodes ago when I thought
you were gonna tell everybody about the delicious deer and antelope steaks I made.
That was pretty damn good. Toad. I'll give you props for that. That was absolutely delicious.
Cooked
What'd you do? Marinated that shit in some stuff for a while, or what?
No, just when I got here, I seasoned them with was that McCormick brown sugar bourbon and maple.
Nice.
And
yeah, they were delicious. Grilled them on the old Weber charcoal. The only way to go.
Yeah,
they were damn good.
With Sam's 3 pounds of charcoal inside there.
I was actually speaking about Screwball, the peanut butter flavored whiskey. I actually did this. If you guys listen to my solo podcast 2 episodes ago,
they probably didn't.
I tried this.
What a dick!
Right? Just because you didn't listen to it because you're a dick doesn't mean that.
I just assumed since I wasn't there, nobody wanted to listen to it.
So this is a peanut butter flavored whiskey. This was
your nose in
This was donated. This was sponsored by Dustin Duff Allen. He gave it to me. He came up and stayed with me and dropped off his stuff to me.
Good old Duffels.
That thing.
Actually, it's
they're pretty good.
You know they're in lockdown.
I know. I've had it.
You know, KC's in lockdown box.
I had heard that.
You know, he said he's still working. I guess he's essential. He repairs. I don't know how repairing like printers and shit is essential, but you know,
I don't either.
It's basically what I've learned through this whole deal is if you're not a bartender or waiter, you're pretty much essential.
Yeah.
and Duff could be a professional internet troll.
He is. I'm pretty sure he gets paid for that shit. So anyways, this stuff is pretty damn good. I'm going to pour myself a little bit first. Actually, you know what? I'll pour it. I've had this, so I'll just pour it down the line here. It tricked you there.
Whiskey of the week.
Yes, sir.
I'm not even sure this qualifies as a whiskey.
Pass on that. It's a whiskey. It's 35%. It just happens to taste really good.
So.
I poured a lot there.
Yeah,
I said,
that's Johnson all the way. Or you?
Like I said a few weeks ago. I think we need to do a flavored whiskey
podium.
Yeah,
podium.
That's enough.
Separately.
No, that one's mine.
Oh no, this one's mine.
Well, you'll be fine. It's delicious. You're all big boys.
What the hell was that whiskey that I was mixing with White Claws that day we were doing the podcast?
Wasn't that Old Camp?
I don't know, but
might have been.
I don't know, but Todd called me or messaged me the other day. We need to come up with all the whiskeys that we've done So when people want to sponsor whiskeys, we can send them and let them know what we've done. But this actually smells. It smells like peanut butter a little bit. It's got a really nice smell. It's not harsh.
It kind of reminds me of butter shots almost.
Have you had this?
Yes.
Yeah, I've had it.
It
I have
smells
not had
similar
it.
to butter
I think
shots.
I'm the only person here who hasn't drank it.
Box, have you had this shit yet?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Johnson, you're the only one that hasn't had it yet. So,
Got to be real honest. It's awfully sugary.
but it's damn good. Take a swig. Tell me how you like it. Huh? Yeah. Huh? Ooh, yeah.
I mean, you could get real f***ed up just drinking
Oh,
this.
it's
straight.
just like-
real sweet.
Yeah.
You couldn't drink a whole
You know what
lot
this
of it,
would
but
go
I think
good
like
in?
you pour half a glass with a little freaking ice cubes in it. Ooh, damn,
But
that'd
you know
be
what
good.
this would go good with? Coffee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It has kind of a coffee aftertaste to it.
You know
think
what?
it
I
would
work
go-
from home. Maybe tomorrow morning, my cup of coffee, I'll just pour a big old shot of Screwball.
I
in
bet
there.
that would taste fucking awesome, man.
I got to do the Corona gun tomorrow, so that should be fun.
But what I'm about to do, I don't want to remember this shit. No, seriously, I bet that would be good with coffee. And honestly, like,
Oh hell yeah!
if you could take the sweetness, you could just sit here and sip on a glass of it pretty fucking easy.
Well, that's what I'm fixing on doing here. That's what I'm fixing on doing.
Yeah, I think that would. I really do. Totally.
So what do you rate
100%
this?
100% right. I think that would go very well with coffee.
This is it's 70 proof, so yeah, 35%, just like any a lot of the normal whiskeys.
Well, that's
do.
the first whiskey that we've had that I haven't gone on.
Well,
So,
what about Johnson's flavored whiskey?
That
What
pecan-
kind? Pecan.
did
Yeah,
not
was
like that.
pretty damn
Actually, the
good.
Eagle Rare, I don't think I did that on either. I like the Eagle Rare.
You would like. This
I don't.
40,
I don't think I ever actually.
I never got to try the Slipknot. I was gone that week.
Well, take a little
Are
swig
you
of it.
sure?
Hand me
I'm
that.
pretty sure you tried it and you really liked it. I'm almost
I don't-
positive you said it was really
So, what
good.
would you guys rate this as? I
Somebody
know
needs
it's.
to stop kicking
I don't
the
think-
table.
I know it's just flavored whiskey, so I realize that. But what would you rate this as? 1 to 5.
I would say that's 1 being the best, 5 being the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Who the rates shit like that? No, 5 stars, man. Come on.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad at all.
I told you you liked it.
That's why it's
Put that
that's
back
why it's
there.
on the podium.
I would.
Did you hear this guy, Box? Is 1 star the best?
Yeah, he's Johnson. He's backwards.
What a fucking idiot.
And we let you on a roof earlier. And you're hammered.
You know what? I'm sorry, but I get so much shit on this podcast. When I get the opportunity, I gotta lambaste you sons of bitches.
I would.
You said a big
Number-
word and you didn't fuck it up. You said lambast and you used it in the correct context.
Oh,
Shit!
Oh
what
no.
a dumbass.
You used it in the correct context. That's what I was trying to say.
I'm saying.
Box, you
as-
want to stick your foot in your mouth too?
No thanks.
I'm just going to go punch myself in the dick for 3 days. I'll see you guys later.
All right, so I'm sorry, Johnson. What were you saying?
I'm saying that I would have gone with, 1 as 1 being the best, number 1. 1 being first place.
Yeah, but when you go
and
from 1 to
3
5 stars,
But hey, if we want to go with 1 to 5 stars, then hey, whatever. I think I would call that a good 4.
I think so. I don't think you like somebody was saying. I don't think you can drink very much. Pour half
No.
a glass
No.
with some ice cubes and start off your night that way, and then switch
And
to something else. but
I would say also, like probably a 4, but I don't want to. You can't really knock anything off the podium because I don't feel like it's.
well, that's why we're gonna start doing a flavored whiskey podium and a normal whiskey podium.
We're gonna need a bigger table.
If
Well,
Sam
no,
wasn't such a vagina about his office, we could put a shelf on the wall back there.
But if we're gonna do a
No.
flavored whiskey that week, we'll just have the flavored whiskey podium or the normal whiskey. podium,
depending on what our
we're doing
whiskey of
that
the week is.
I can build us a shelf. I get some badass live edge out of the
Well,
farm.
yeah, we can do it right over there in that corner, right over.
or we
there.
could put it on that wall back there.
Didn't I send you a picture of what I picked out for that?
I don't
Because you were
know.
talking about the corner shelf last time. I thought I did. I'll
No,
do it when I
I
get
don't
home.
he
think
probably
so.
cried about it because it was going to have to go up on the
Yeah.
wall.
So, Box,
You're gonna
did you
screw
happen to
into
pull
my
up
wall.
that? We were talking about a Swiss weapons catch.
Cash.
The weapon.
You f***ed up that
Well,
time.
it was only a matter of time. Let's be honest. Here.
You dumb son
I
of a
don't, I
bitch.
don't,
Did
it was
could you find that again so
a
we
few
know?
months ago, I believe.
So we have a thing when we
in
come up
February.
when
not-
we come
not
up with
long ago,
shit
actually.
for the podcast to talk about on the
Oh.
podcast, we post them on our little shared wall area, and that was one of them that we wanted
we
to talk
have
about
one of
this
those?
week. So, oh my god,
Slack,
gee, I wonder
I
why
looked
you
on
never
Slack.
posted on.
I
it.
logged into Slack the other day. It should have given you a notification. I looked. I couldn't find anything.
No, we'll have to show you after this after the podcast. Show you what's going on.
Hey, I used Google Drive yesterday to send Johnson video
You
files.
did? You
I
did.
was pretty impressed.
You
He
did
didn't
good.
even ask
I was
anybody
like, "What's
how to
going
do
on
it.
here?" It's like Toad's emailing us. What the hell?
Well, I talked to him on the phone.
Oh.
Yep.
No wonder. I'm not so impressed anymore.
All right, so
I didn't want to call you because you'd have been a dick about it.
Box, did you happen to
Whatever,
find
Toad.
that or?
Yeah, I already had it pulled up. It was in February.
Okay.
I'm not sure when they actually
I have
discovered it.
a
but
story to go along with this. So where was this found at?
the Swiss town of Mithols. I'm not sure how to say it.
What, nipples?
Not nipples.
Nipples.
Mithols. Right. End of the yellow.
No, actually, I think you got that right.
They found a weapons cache from World War II, an underground weapons cache. There was 3,500 tons of ammunition.
3,500 tons?
Yes.
Boy,
I'm not
that's a lot
sure
of shit.
what they mean by ammunition, if it's just small arms ammunition or if there's like
I would
artillery and stuff.
assume there's artillery.
There's
and
got to be
tank.
big stuff in there
Yeah.
because it says some of the material exploded in 1947, killing 9 people and damaging properties. But most of what's left of the arsenal is now reportedly covered by fallen rocks.
Huh.
So it's got to.
So-
There's got to be some big stuff.
But
there.
Switzerland.
They were neutral.
They've been neutral for. So did they participate in any way in World War One or two?
I think they might have gotten. Did they get invaded?
In World War
I
II.
don't know.
I think they did.
We're not historians.
But anyway, so somebody uses.
in World War II.
I think they
They
did.
they use their neutrality and
It was
frickin'
probably a Nazi
stored a bunch of shit there.
cache.
Apparently,
Either that, but what a lot of people don't realize is that in Europe, it's not uncommon at all to still find Nazi bunkers,
mm-hmm.
unexploded ordnance in your freaking backyard, and shit like that. Like,
Fucking Nazis.
I watched a documentary from like 10
Goddamn
years ago,
Nazis.
and there's a town in France. I think they had to evacuate it too because
They found
people-
an unexploded 500-pound bomb in the basement, like it went through the roof.
no. People were dying from mustard gas from World War One. There was one
A
guy.
leak?
He was working out in a scrapyard, and he had hit something, and it was like a cache of mustard gas bombs from World War One, and they had to he died. They had to evacuate the town. And when I was in England, we went to Bath, the town of Bath, England, to see the old Roman baths from the Roman occupation, like 2,000 years ago. They're still there. We were like, yeah, this is cool. Well, we went and we had
They
to,
were like, it's not cool. You're going to die.
we had to park at a thing called a park and ride, which are very common over there. So we went up and we parked because the streets were built when they had horses, so they don't fit cars all that great. Yet people drive double-decker buses like they're maniacs. It's terrifying. But we parked at the park and ride, and across from us is this school with a playground and everything. And we're like, oh, cool, there's a school, blah, blah, blah. We get in the bus, we go downtown, we see all the sights, we eat, find all this other cool stuff. I bought some stuff, exchanged some money, the Eurostar. Go back, get in our car, and we drive up to Inverness in Scotland. And Katie, my sister Katie was with me, and she's like 3 days later, she's like, holy fuck. And I go, what? She's like, you know that park and ride we parked at? I'm like, in Bath? And she's like, yeah. And she goes, you remember that school across the way? I was like, yeah. She goes, there was a fucking 300 some odd pound bomb underneath the fucking playground from World War II. From like a shelling. Nazis. And they had been doing construction. They were replacing the tarmac in the playground. And I guess they must have bulldozed the bitch up. It didn't explode. They took it out in the country and blew it up. But it's like, Jesus Christ.
Neat.
So I was editing the last podcast, not the Gears and Beers, but the one before that. Oh my God. And there was one point after we had got going, I bet there was over 20 within 40 seconds.
And they were mostly me.
Oh my God. So like if you were listening to the last podcast, I apologize. We bleeped that shit out, but it was just like beep, beep, beep. At one point it was just like beep, like just like kept fucking. I was like, oh my God.
Kept it
guys.
solid for
Hey,
a
Joe
while.
Rogan doesn't beep his fucks out, so I don't care why. I don't know what we do.
Well, they get a little excessive sometimes, but
Most of the guys that listen, most of the people who listen to us are like gun guys, ex-military, whatever. I'm pretty sure.
right. But there's a reason I do it. I do it. We'll talk about it after the podcast. But
I totally understand. It's more wholesome and
There is
Didn't you just say you don't understand?
Did you guys see that donut operator video that Toad posted, or that Duff posted in the live?
I watched a little bit of it.
I watch everything that donut operator posts.
You saw the first Viridian weapon cam.
Yeah, oh yeah, Jesus.
Yep.
That guy put 8. Okay, so what happened was this officer walked up to a vehicle that he knew had a
Child molester.
a pedo in it. And the guy ended up pulling a sawed-off shotgun, shooting
20 gauge.
Shooting the officer. I think it hit him in his shoulder.
Yep.
And basically what a Viridian weapon cam is, this is the first video from this system. It's on the gun, so when the gun comes out of holster, it turns it on and it shows you everything that the gun is looking at. So what happened was he walked up to the vehicle, and you can watch the this whole situation from his body cam, and then as soon as he pulls the gun, you can see what the gun was seeing, and the guy got shot in the shoulder with a shotgun, and he unloaded a whole magazine into the vehicle, and then he got knocked down from the shotgun blast, got up, got around to the other side, reloaded his magazine, and he still got 8 shots on target.
And the guy he shot lived.
Yes, he did.
And the guy, the officer that got shot, got hit 41 times. And 36 of those pellets
41
pellets.
Right. So it was birdshot.
And 36 of them. And he must have shot him with it had to have been 6 shot or something like that.
Right. Just fucking birdshot, whatever. Clearly the guy wasn't
Yeah.
But the guy that got shot, he was a fucking dirtbag piece of shit, obviously.
He got convicted 2 days ago of attempted murder.
So my takeaways from this video were the way that you think of the self-defense shooting, because it was an officer approaching a guy, but it was still a self-defense situation. But it was just so hectic and so fucking crazy,
fast.
And the guy so quick and so messy and so ugly. The way that you imagine a self-defense shooting to go in your head. I'm gonna pull my weapon and shoot, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But the majority of these situations that you see on camera are exactly this, just fucking crazy.
Fast. Yep.
Yeah. And the takeaway that I got from it, it's this officer did a hell of a good job. Put 8 rounds on target in that whole situation. After, he probably put a few on, and then he got shot with a shotgun, and he still kept putting rounds on target.
I think he got a shot off, or maybe 1 or 2 off, and then the guy hit him, and he fell down. And as he was falling, he was still firing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got up and he went around the back side of the vehicle, so he kind of isolated himself from the threat, because you can't really wing a shotgun, through a Tahoe.
Right.
And he just, you saw those windows exploding. He just waylaid that vehicle, and then he got back by that fence across the street and reloaded. And you could see, I didn't think he got hit at first, but then.
Well, it wasn't really that. He was shooting.
Anything.
He was shooting so much.
Well, he never said anything.
I'm sure he had a vest on. It might have, and it was birdshot. And I'm not
No,
it's different than getting shot with fucking. But all those pellets in one area, that's still got to feel like a fucking sledgehammer.
Probably one of the things that really saved him was he was probably about 10, 15 yards away, and most of the time
I would say 10 or 15 feet. He was pretty close still. When he got
but
shot.
that guy had sawed the barrel off of that
that
870, and so and it was a 20 gauge, so it was a less powerful round. But when you fire a 12 gauge, people have this misconception that, oh my God, from 4 feet away you're going to blow a basketball-sized hole in the door. No, at 4 feet, at 15 feet, that is still roughly the size of a golf ball. So I don't know if maybe some of it ricocheted off his vest and hit him in the upper shoulder part of his arm or
did
what.
you see this video?
I did.
What was your take on the whole thing?
I didn't really have much of a take.
Really?
It was crazy. Yeah.
To me,
I didn't read into it too much. I see a lot of shooting videos.
Well, yeah,
me,
but this
is that what you do when you?
This is the first. This was. I thought it
was.
was cool because this was the first one with the weapons cam. Yeah, we got body cams all the time, but this was the first one with a weapons cam showing exactly where you're shooting. Where
to
you're
me,
aiming.
I watch all of active self-protection and donut operator. So
let's get that. Let's get him on.
Which one?
Donut operator.
I met him.
We saw him down in Vegas.
I met him in Vegas. I talked to him.
So I think both of them do a good
I
job.
called him Mr. Donut. So I was like, hey, Mr. Donut, how's it going? And he's like, oh, not bad. How's it,
Oh, that's fine.
So I think both of them do a really good job at showing, like, and especially Donut. He really makes it apparent in his videos, like, hey, I'm not on the cop's side here. I'm just showing what happened.
Is he a cop?
He used to be.
He used to be.
He was in the. I think he was in the army, and then he was a cop.
I was going to say, clearly from that
couple, several
mustache,
years
he at least used to be.
But
I just like the way he breaks down the videos. Like,
yeah, he does a very good job at, like, hey, I'm just, I'm not saying I'm pro cop or anti cop. I'm just showing you what happened, and from a cop's standpoint, this is how I feel about it. And he does a very good job at,
Did you guys see the whole situation? I can't remember what state it's in, but there was a some sort of red flag warrant served, and they were shooting into the house, and the guy was sleeping.
Duncan
under the bed.
Lamp.
yeah,
What the is going on with that shit?
I think it's another thing where there's more to it than everybody.
I'm sure there is, but what impossible?
And it's come out, I believe. I haven't read
all these red things though.
I'd rather not.
All these red
it.
flag shootings just kind of. And yeah, I'm with Blacks. I don't want to get into it, but like they remind
Well,
me.
if there's more facts to it, then we won't.
If you
cover it,
haven't
but-
heard of Ruby Ridge, look it up. Watch the documentary, and you'll see why you should hate red flag laws.
Yeah, I talked about that on the podcast that I was by myself on. I talked about Waco and Ruby Ridge, and you didn't listen to it, did you, you dick?
Neither did he, and
No.
neither did he.
Jesus,
None of us
you guys are
did.
fucking assholes. Sam, I'm not going to be around for the podcast today. Oh, that's cool. I'll cover it. And then you don't even bother listening.
Oh,
to
yeah.
it,
I never
you
said I
sons of
wasn't-
bitches.
Oh,
I never said I wasn't gonna
listened
be
to
around
the
for the
clip where you
podcast.
made fun of me, and that was about it.
yeah, me for having a kid. Oh,
Yeah, he's selfish.
You actually just kind of decided to do it yourself.
Well, you guys weren't around. What was I supposed to do? Not have it? I'm still going to do it.
I never said I wasn't going to be around. You were just like, okay, I guess I'm doing it myself.
Actually, you kind of implied that you didn't want to come down more than Johnson did, who was at the hospital with his wife and his newborn child.
Anyways.
That's totally true.
I said that. No, it was about the video. I said nothing about a podcast.
So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Is this Viridian weapon cam going to turn into something bigger? You think?
Yeah,
you think
I hope
is
it-
it something?
honestly,
you
I
think it's
hope it
something
does.
that concealed carriers might be interested in
No, I
carrying?
No,
I mean, I don't want it.
that was a
No.
terrible idea.
no.
For
Why would you rather have
police officers and things like that? That's great because it protects them. But us as a
It
private
protects
citizen,
you as well.
Why would you rather have a camera?
I live
than
in a state with a
weapon-mounted light?
castle law, dude.
If you're going to carry a weapon on you or something,
I'm
on
not
your-
saying. I'm not
Getting
saying. I'm not saying
Sorry.
in your house. I'm saying as you go out and about and live your life and go
No,
about
because
your
what
business.
if I take my gun out, set it on the dresser, and then it's like I go to town with my old lady, and it's filming me, and then it's like, well, I don't know about it, and then I somehow gets uploaded to YouTube. I don't want that.
I don't think it works that way.
Well, it might.
I don't think it works that way. I don't know. I think this is obviously for police officers. It's going to be a lot bigger thing. But I could see it catching on for because
it's not
when,
for civilians.
well,
That's
when
all
you
there is
pull
to
your
it.
gun, you want it to be able. You want because there's a lot.
I
of times,
also would like to be able to see. And why would you substitute if you're going to be carrying something on your handgun? Why would it be a camera rather than a weapon?
Do you carry a light?
I carry a flashlight.
You can.
I
Carry,
don't have a weapon
Then
mounted
there's
light.
nothing stopping you from carrying a weapon cam on there.
Just go with it. He's going to argue about this forever.
I can do that too.
But you see what I'm saying?
No, I don't see any reason for. I wouldn't put it on my gun.
I could. I'm not saying I'm gonna. I'm obviously not gonna. But I could see somebody may possibly want to. So apparently, everybody's. We're on a piss break.
Is this
apparently.
intermission break time, guys?
Time out.
Yep.
Time's out. Time's out. Intermission. Break time. What do we? Actually, no. We were just going to talk about the 308 Johnson's 308 or 6.5.
God, everybody is kicking the shit out of the table today, and it's driving me nuts. Somebody get me a beer.
Right.
My anxiety is through the roof.
Here, let me get you a Bud Light.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I would throw a fit about a Bud Light, but you're graciously giving me a Bud Light.
So Johnson, I think in the last podcast or live,
No,
where he was on.
I think it was the last live that I kind of started to talk about it. I wanted to talk about like a some bolt action long range rifles, and how people felt about, like, I guess, I mean, we were kind of in the whole like doomsday scenario when we were talking about it, and it kind of made me think about 308 versus 6.5 Creedmoor. I know a lot of people will say, like, 308. Obviously, 308 is going to be more plentiful than 6.5 Creedmoor in kind of a doomsday scenario, but I wanted to kind of hear what you guys thought as far as ballistic advantages versus
availability.
Ammo availability.
I can't speak to the ballistic advantages.
Well, I think
all.
at this point, it's pretty clear 6.5
So-
has a ballistic advantage over 308.
Yeah, but okay, what that may be for competition shooting, but what about
So let me read you a couple things.
combat?
I
what
would
kind of
think-
energy transfer is there from the 6.5 compared to the 308?
So
Johnson?
what I want to read to you is, it's not so much about energy transfer as much as first round impacts, right? So energy transfer, you're gonna die if you get hit by a 308, or you're gonna die if you get hit by a 6.5 Creedmoor. Right, like, I mean, if you get hit,
correct,
center
but
mass-
how many instances are you going to have where you're shooting over 500 yards?
right?
Like, there's going to be that's going to be few and far between,
Right.
even out to 500. I mean, a lot of times, okay, say it is the apocalypse. Well, I mean, how many times are you going to be shooting over 200 yards? You see what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
But I don't know. I see what you're saying at the same time, but it's an interesting. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Can I read that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the main thing about what I have read is first round impacts. And the biggest thing with first round impacts, as far as 6.5 Creedmoor and 308 go, is you're going to have a higher percentage of first round impact with a 6.5 Creedmoor, just because it is inherently a more accurate cartridge than 308 is. Right. So just the bullet that is used in 6.5 Creedmoor is inherently more accurate than a 308. So then when you start pushing the range out farther, 6.5 Creedmoor ends up being supersonic farther than 308 does. Okay, so you don't go through that transonic zone until farther on in the range. And then when it comes to, 1,000 yard, 1,200 yard, 1,500 yard, a mile shots, when you are shooting a 6.5 Creedmoor, you're going to have to make less adjustment.
But
right?
what
So-
the f*** am I going to be doing shooting 1,500
Right.
yards in
And-
the apocalypse?
Okay, so and that's where
Other than for sport.
right, and that's where we start getting into the whole realistic shots versus apocalypse kind of situation thing. So the way that I look at it is, no matter where you look at it, whether it's 200 yards or a mile, 6.5 Creedmoor is going to be more
Not at 200 yards.
at ballistically it's more effective at 200 yards.
But as far as first rounds on target, you're not
As
at
far
200
as-
yards. You're
as
not
far
going to
as-
notice a difference.
No, as far as first rounds on target, no. But it's going faster than 308, so it's
It's going to hit a little harder.
You can debate.
Right.
You
right.
can debate at 200 to 500 yards. You can debate which one's better, 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor. I will say that you can debate that 2 to 500 yards. After 500 yards, no. 6.5 Creedmoor is ballistically better,
Mm-hmm. Superior.
and that's not arguable.
I don't think anybody
That's-
argue that.
No.
Right.
The other thing I look at with calibers too, like when you're talking about that is both of those calibers will take down just about any animal in North America.
Right. So, and that's something that that I had to think about, because this is the reason I started thinking about this whole scenario is because I want a bolt action rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor or 308.
And you have a 6.0 right now.
And I don't know which one to get. Yeah, I have a 6 Creedmoor right
I would
now.
go 308.
But that's strictly a target gun. Right.
So
here's my thinking is 6.5 Creedmoor, and this is where I want to kind of hear your guys' opinions.
308.
Okay. Come on.
I want to say
Let me at least finish.
You've been talking for 15 minutes, for fuck's sake.
I want to say 308 too because I've owned a couple of them and I really like that round. But at the same time, I really want to try a rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor.
Well, it depends. It depends. Johnson, yes, 6.5 is a ballistically superior round. I mean, that's not up for debate.
I think in every way,
But-
6.5 Creedmoor is superior ballistically. If you want to look at it as far as ammo availability, 308 is better. Right.
But, yeah.
We're gonna talk about
and I think a lot of their reasoning, and I'm on the same boat in the same side as these fellas. 308's been around for so long and it's been effective for so long, it fucking works. Yes, it's not as effective as 6.5, but it's there and it works. You can make it work for pretty much whatever instance you need it to work for.
I think the difference is marginal.
I want to throw one more caliber into the mix, and you
What's
guys
that,
might
Tom?
laugh at me.
What's that?
7.62 by 54R.
Well,
It's cheap as shit.
Yeah, if
it's
you had a
all over the
Mosin.
place, and Mosin, Vepper,
so is
PTR
a
makes
308's
But a
762 by
Mosin,
51,
but a Mosin is
correct?
going to be
Fellas,
one. Yeah. What?
762 by 51 is 308, correct?
yes.
Yes.
So 54 is just basically the exact same. The cartridge is a
rimmed.
little bit,
Yeah,
is a little
it's-
bit longer.
Yeah,
And it's rimmed.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
That's a Mosin thing.
Speaking of rims,
remember-
we talked about this earlier.
I remember Remy. I walked into Remy's shop one day, and he's like, he goes, and Kim is sitting on the floor doing inventory, and he throws me an empty shell case, and he goes, "You might know what this is. We can't figure it out." I tossed him as I tossed it back. I said, 7.64R or 7.62 by 54R. It's a Russian round. Mosin the guy shoots it.
Oh, that's a Russian
And
round.
Kim's like,
Yeah.
Kim's sitting on the floor, and she just goes, "Jesus Christ."
So Johnson, I think everybody.
But-
what side are you on? That's the ultimate. question.
I'm personally I'm on the 6.5 Creedmoor.
I don't
Side.
think it's worth it. The 308 can outshoot any of us. And that's so
Well,
I'm
and so I thought about
I mean,
that.
what good is the 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch going to do you when you're
Right.
in the apocalypse?
Right.
Really
So-
nothing.
I don't know. Ask her. A 1/2 inch might make a big difference, Box.
So this is the way I looked at it, and this is the reason, because initially when I first started thinking about this a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh yeah, 308 for sure, 308 100%. I got ammo availability, all this shit.
What the are
So-
you giggling about?
The next subject.
I did some reading, and one thing that I read that really made me think about it was the comment was, well, every caliber that you have a rifle in, you have stock and ammo in. And I was like, well, that's a fair assessment. I'm not gonna own a 308 rifle or a 6.5 Creedmoor rifle
Without having a
and be
shitload of
like,
rounds.
you know what? I'm going into this fucking apocalypse without any ammo, and I hope that somebody else has all that ammo for me so I can go get it from.
Yeah, but a lot of
somebody
people
else.
have. Say this
know,
is
but-
say
I
this
know,
say
but
this
I-
coronavirus is the apocalypse.
But that's fucking that's stupid to think that you're not gonna have ammo for your own rifles.
No, because how many ammo? There's a lot of people that don't have any
It's-
ammo.
It's still stupid to think that you're not gonna have
it's
ammo
not.
for your own rifle.
There's a lot of people right now that's all they have. They have maybe 50 rounds for whatever ammo, whatever gun they
Essentially,
have.
Johnson, what that is saying is you should use what you have. That's not what your question was.
Right.
Your
So-
question would
Right.
you rather have this or this?
Right.
I have neither. I would choose a 308.
So, I have either. Either.
You have
I don't
you
have
neither.
I have neither. I don't have a 308 or a 6.5.
But how
Creedmoor.
much difference is there between a 6.0 and a 6.5?
About half.
Doesn't that fucker hit?
0.5.
Doesn't that fucker hit pretty goddamn hard still? I mean, it's
No,
not.
6 millimeter Creedmoor is 150 millimeter
Is it
or
a-
115
is it a
grain
grain?
maximum.
Is that a 260 or a
Whereas
280 Remington?
it's a 243.
Hmm.
6.5 Creedmoor is
The 280 Remington.
147.
Yeah, but 115 grain, that's still going to hit pretty hard.
Yeah, well, it's
Compared
the same
to-
as a 9 millimeter. So
Oh.
figure it out.
Sort yourself out there, bud.
Anyways,
Anyways,
Spare
what
parts.
I'm saying is, when I originally looked at it, I said a 308 absolutely. Ammo availability is there, 100%. Well, then I looked at it as if I buy a 6.5 Creedmoor rifle, I'm sure as shit gonna buy 6.5 Creedmoor ammo.
yeah,
Right.
how much though is the question.
500 rounds.
A lot of
1,000
people,
rounds?
a lot of people have never bought that. A lot of people don't.
I'm not talking about a lot of people. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about you. You and
this-
me are in the same fucking scenario. As if we buy a fucking bolt gun, we're gonna buy 500
No,
rounds of the ammo.
I don't think so. If I buy a bolt gun, which I'm kind of thinking maybe possibly buying a bolt gun, I got news for you. I ain't buying a 500 rounds for it.
I think you're being unrealistic, and you absolutely will buy 500 rounds for it.
I don't think so.
I'm
I
kinda-
know how I am.
I'm kind of with Johnson on this. I kind of know how you are too, and you will buy at least 250.
But as for the average person, the average person would not buy 500 rounds.
I think they
They
would.
just won't.
I think they would.
I think my legs are stuck.
Does that
inside
matter?
the stool.
Yeah, because he's talking about
If this were truly the apocalypse, though, I'd still
I
want
think- I think-
availability. Eventually,
think-
you're going to run out of
I
whatever
agree.
it is
I
you
agree
have.
with Box. I'm on your side on this.
Okay. So I think when it comes to that scenario, if you run out of ammo, 308 is going to be more plentiful than 6.5 Creedmoor. Although 6.5 Creedmoor is becoming far more
Mainstream.
commercially available,
Yeah,
even more so than 308.
yeah, it's popular in the firearms community, but there's farmers, all sorts of
Right.
people that are going out buying 308. They're
I'm
not buying
I'm not-
6.5 Creedmoor.
I'm not gonna say that 6.5 Creedmoor is becoming more popular than 308. I'm not gonna go out and say that. I still think that 308 is far more popular than 6.5 Creedmoor.
So okay,
But I also believe that 6.5 Creedmoor, and the reason I wanted to mention the articles that I was reading is because they were talking about having first round impact percentages. And I think that's something that a lot of people do not even consider.
You're right. Yeah. I don't know. There's sides. There's both sides.
Like,
with Johnson.
okay, I get it. Like, yeah, most people aren't going to take shots over 300 yards, and so between 308 and 6.5 Creedmoor, your difference is going to be negligible, right?
Mhm.
Between 6.5 Creedmoor and 308 as far as first shot impacts. But to me, it's like, well, so for a very small difference in price per round, but a big difference in ballistic change per round, you know, like 6.5 Creedmoor is obviously far more accurate.
So let's
just-
change this up a little bit. Like, I understand what you're saying. I think we could argue about this all fucking day long. Probably could.
Mm-hmm.
Probably could. I think you're on one side and the rest of us are on another side. So let's play a little different would you rather game. Sound good?
Yeah.
So I Googled, I've been laughing about this for
I think everyone has heard.
several minutes. I googled would you rather questions, and it Google once again delivered.
Like always. It always
like always. So we're just gonna play a few questions here because this shit is there's some fantastic ones here. But number 12 out of the 200 questions in this list is: would you rather crap your pants in public once a year for the rest of your life, or crap yourself in private every day for the rest of your life?
Once a year.
Yeah, once a year.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
In public though?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm already awkward as shit. What do I care?
Yeah, I'd rather fucking shit myself publicly once
James
a month.
flat out told me he'd take a shit in a parking lot. It didn't matter. He said, just use
And if it happened every day, I could prepare for it.
Yeah,
I'll just wear a diaper.
Yep.
Would you rather lose your sex organs forever or gain 200 pounds for the rest of your life?
200 pounds.
Yeah,
I think everybody's going to be on the same side.
you
as
can
that
buy
one.
prostitutes.
Would you rather have sex with your cousin or in secret, or not have sex with your cousin, but everyone would think you did?
Ooh.
That's a question for you.
So
That's a
have
question.
sex
the
with your
second one.
cousin and be secretive, or not have sex with your cousin, but everyone thought you
The second
did.
one, I don't give a shit what they think about me.
Okay, so we're going to add to this. Would you rather have sex
Boy,
with your cousin or
that's
secret, or not have sex with your cousin, but everyone think you did, or you never have sex? You just don't. You don't. You either have sex with your
So
cousin. or
is
you don't.
is the cousin that you have sex with of the opposite sex at least?
Well, yeah, obviously, and they're from let's say freaking Oklahoma, and you don't know them, other than
No, that doesn't
Why is
make,
this?
that
Why
doesn't
is
make
this
it
a
any
question,
different.
guys? Why is this hard for you guys? Would you rather have sex with your cousin, or would you rather not?
Right? Yeah.
Would you rather have?
I'm
no,
gonna go with no.
I would go with the second one. Yeah, no.
I'm gonna go with no.
Whatever. Both. I can see it in both of your guys' eyes. You're both like, oh, I'm gonna have sex. So yeah, we're just gonna call it. It is
No.
what it is.
That's why I said no.
Would you rather have no fingers or no eyes?
No fingers.
No fingers.
Would
Box?
you? Would you?
Hold on, we gotta hear Box's answer.
That's a tough one for me.
Well, either way, you can't provide for yourself.
Bullshit.
You
Lots
can't-
of
you
Blind
can't- you
people.
can no longer jack off
Why
or
couldn't
open
you?
a bottle of whiskey.
How do you provide for yourself with no eyes?
Plenty of blind people.
Yeah, I'd rather
provide
be
for
blind.
themselves.
Yeah, in this situation, in normal society.
Why is this different?
They can build.
Haven't you ever
never
seen?
said this
haven't you ever
wasn't
seen
normal
Book of Eli?
society.
That dude's a
Dude,
badass.
they can build you new fingers.
Yeah,
He's also magic.
he's not magic. He just
There's
memorized the
nothing
Bible.
magic about that movie.
Don't shut the fuck up. Did you guys not watch that movie? You could watch the whole movie, and he just acts like somebody swings a blade at him. He's just like, pam, 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 pam. He can fucking see shit, man. Like
It's not
he's
magic, Sam. That's
He was the
senses.
chosen
he's
one.
not sense. If somebody swings a fucking,
He has.
if Johnson
Hey,
is blind,
hey,
if Johnson's
hey.
blind and I punch him in the face, he's not gonna know I'm punching him in the face. That's just how it is.
You punch me in the face, I'm gonna punch you back.
okay.
Have you ever heard that? A lot of people think Stevie Wonder could see.
Was it Family Guy where they threw a tennis ball at him and it hit him?
I don't know. But there's been a lot of people that think that he could actually see. There was one time Shaq walked into an elevator with him, and Stevie was like, "Oh, hey, Shaq." Didn't say anything to him or anything like
Maybe
that.
he knew his smell.
Or maybe he was magic.
What
Book
is
of
that
Eli.
supposed to mean?
Magic.
Speaking of smells,
What is
somebody
that
farted.
supposed to mean?
It means you farted.
Next
Oh,
question.
really?
Would you rather be a virgin
Wow.
forever or have sex with your brother or sister one time?
Virgin forever.
What?
Yeah.
I think this
Gonna-
is...
gonna go
where
with
the
virgin
fuck
forever.
did you find these questions? Incest.com or
Has
what?
apparently on the Google
No shit.
incest page.
Would you rather be married to Paris Hilton or Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen.
Paris Hilton.
Is that a real question? These are terrible
Yeah.
questions. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, I did not say that you guys couldn't pull shit up. Come
Hey,
on, throw them on.
I'm
there.
gonna
I
throw
think-
a second or a third answer there. I'm gonna go Joe Exotic.
Charlie Sheen. He had way more blow.
Well, I'm not really into blow, so
I feel like
it doesn't
Paris-
affect me at all.
I feel like Paris Hilton could afford more.
No, Charlie Sheen could
Oh my
definitely
God, somebody really fucking stinks.
afford more blow.
That's not me.
I think it was me.
This is impressive stuff we've got going on here, guys.
Yeah, this podcast
Let's-
is really
let's
turning
move her
into something
along,
special.
No, this is fun as hell. Would you rather have unlimited money, power, and respect, or unlimited sex?
Sex.
The first one.
No, I'd gone with the first one for sure.
I wasn't really paying attention. I'm typing on
Money,
my phone.
power, and respect. Yeah.
Absolute power corrupts.
Would you rather be an ugly genius or a hot moron?
Hot, ugly genius.
Ugly genius.
Yeah.
Ugly geniuses make a lot of money. Look at Bill Gates.
I could make my own masturbation device if I was smart.
Okay, what else do we got here? Yeah, you could do all sorts. If
Hold
you're
on,
a genius,
hold on. I got a good one. Are we doing F, Marry, Kill? Is that okay?
Sure. This is Would You Rather? Sure.
Wow, going down the rabbit hole with this shit show.
It is what it is.
Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, and
None of them.
Oh,
Kill them
shit.
all.
Kill them all. I agree with you. Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, and Maxine Waters.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'll stick with my answer.
I agree.
Nuclear.
I'm not gonna lie. I agree with the box. Kill them all.
No, I'd kill myself.
See, I hadn't
Very
thought of
noble,
that.
Toad.
Yep, I'd take one in the dome for that.
Every time you have sex, it takes one day off your life. How many?
I'm still going to live to be
down?
pretty old.
Yeah, I'm at least gonna be 95.
Yeah.
You can ask my wife.
Would you rather smell terrible but you can't smell it, or your partner smells terrible and you have to smell it?
I would rather
Me.
smell terrible.
Bad
and me
smell-
not be able
bad
to smell.
smells
That's
drive me
average.
You mean I
Crazy.
smell terrible and still have a partner? I'm going with that one.
Yeah.
All right, here's a good
Oh
one.
yeah, because my wife tells me I stink all the time. She's like, "Oh my God, you need to shower in the morning."
Tasha
So here's-
Tasha
Sweated
never
all
tells me
night,
that. She
it
tells me to quit
stinks.
farting.
Here's a good one. Would you rather have sex with Megan Fox with a penis, or Tom Hiddleston? I don't know who that is, so we're gonna say Brad Pitt with a vagina.
Brad Pitt with the vagina.
We got to know who this Todd dude is. Tom
Tom Hiddleston, you
Hiddleston. I don't know who the f*** that
He
is.
played Loki in the Avengers movie.
Why the f*** would I know that?
Oh fuck that!
Why would I
retard.
know that? So why is he even a Why is that even a question?
Yeah,
Tom Hiddleston? He's pretty famous.
I don't care.
Oh yeah, I'm banging dudes because
No.
they're famous.
But that's
Well, the girl has a
the question
dick
still
in
remains.
question.
The question still remains. Toad, where are you at here? Megan Fox with a penis or that dude with a vagina?
Is she a hermaphrodite?
No,
She has a penis.
dick.
So she's a she-male.
She has a penis.
She is a he.
And Tom Hiddleston has a vagina.
Right.
So
He
he's,
is
ju-
a
he's,
she.
ju- he's just an ugly woman with a butch
He
haircut.
is a she.
I'm going with Tom Hiddleston.
I'm going with whatever has a vagina. Pretty easy for me.
Oh my God. All right.
Except I'm going to call him Tammy.
You guys want me to keep going with this? Because I can
Hey,
go
Tom.
all
No, let's- yeah, I'm
fucking
going
day.
you Tammy, is that
let's
okay?
skip to the next segment. I have jerky cooking at home and I don't want it to overcook.
Would you rather one more? Would you rather have your body found on a pile of sex toys or a pile of drugs?
Yes.
Jonathan's like, can't we mix
I don't
the
really
two?
give a shit where my body's
Yeah,
found.
I want to make sure those
I'm
sex
dead.
toys are.
I don't give a shit.
I
So
want to make sure
whatever
those sex
happens-
toys are covered in drugs. Cocaine covered dildos.
What?
I'm in.
Take a look. It's in a book. Time traveling with Toad.
I feel like that.
All right,
needs to be
listeners.
louder.
Today on Time Traveling with Toad, we're going back 30 seconds and talking about cocaine-covered dildos.
Whoa!
Just kidding. We're going back to 1871.
Oh, that's a long ways.
Yeah, I don't know if they had dildos back then, Johnson.
Oh, they did. They were just made out of cast iron.
Or
That-
wood.
Would be cold and splintery.
You'd have to warm it up for a
Splintery.
little while.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the original condom was like a sheep's intestine or something like that.
it was.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we talked about that last episode.
Yeah, we did.
It was a
kinda
fucking shit show.
yeah, I was a little drunk.
Kind of like this one.
Would you shut up?
No.
No.
We're talking about the Martini Henry rifle. It was a breech-loading, single-shot, lever-action rifle that was adopted by the British Army in 1871. It replaced the Snyder Enfield. The Martini variants were used throughout the English Empire for 47 years. It was a drop block action, and I believe the first variations you actually had to pluck the shell out, like it popped out like kind of like a
Every shot?
yeah, kind of like a some of the older over-unders would do that. They pop the shell out halfway and you had to reach in, pluck two out, slam two back in.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like an old like muzzleloader. Like if you look at it,
To me, I think, yeah,
But
I
it
think
was-
it looks like a badass, like big bore, with Mosin Nagant.
Yeah, and it was a big bore. It was a 5.77 by 450 round.
Yeah.
They use these things to kill elephants. It was used in the British colonial wars, the Perak War, the Second Anglo-Afghan War, the Herzegovina Uprising of 1875 to 1878, the Russo-Turkish War, the War of the Pacific, the Anglo-Zulu War,
Here we
First
go again.
Italia.
Jesus Christ. Didn't you do this with the
Ethiopian War?
1911s? You don't
Yes.
got to read them all.
Yes,
though.
I did. Oh, I'm reading them all because the last one is very intriguing.
Well,
You could just read the
one.
last
Can you
one.
just skip to the last
Nope. Shut up. Greco-Turkish War of 1897, the First Boer War, the Second Boer War, the Balkan Wars, World War I, the Greco-Turkish War of 1919 to 1922, the Second
We're only
Italo-Ethiopian
in
War,
1920.
and the war in Afghanistan from 1978 to present. So they haven't made any of these fucking things for like 80 years, and they're still using them in Afghanistan.
Is that any surprise to you that these third world countries are using all kinds of random fucking rounds?
They haven't produced any since 1889. It's 2020, and they're still using them in Afghanistan.
That's not surprising
That's
to me.
impressive. That is
It
pretty
weighs
impressive.
8 pounds 7 ounces. It's 49 inches long. The barrel is 33.22 inches
I
long.
would have thought it would be way heavier than that. That's not that heavy.
I think the fucking Hajis
pounds?
are using
here's,
it.
Here's the other thing. It came in a few different chamberings. So it was a 5.77 by 450 Boxer Henry, 5.7 by Martini Henry, and then 303 British, 11.43 by 55R, which I don't even know what the fuck that is, and then 7.65 by 53, which sounds kind of nasty. But its rate of fire was only 12 rounds a minute. Its effective
One round
firing
every
range
5
is 400 yards with a maximum
ta-
fire range
Oh,
of
because it's
1900.
popping. You know, that's why it
Yeah,
takes
but
5
look-
seconds. To...
Look at this. This is a goofy round. So it's the two in the middle.
Yeah, that's definitely a goofy looking out. Yeah, that's a goofy looking round.
Yeah.
And the one on the left looks like they freaking like hand forged it.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, I mean it's a strange looking projectile.
Interesting. And how many did it say? How many grains the bullet is? any chance?
It does not say that.
Fucking huge.
Oh
we'll
yeah,
just say.
it does. 577.
Huh? 577 grains.
Yeah, 577.
So it's like a
by
fucking 50 cal, basically.
Yeah, well, they made like a 60 caliber pistol back then too. It was a Webley Scott, and I think it might have been even pin fired that they used during the colonial period in Africa. So it was a 60 caliber, like rim fire. No, it was a rim fire. That's what it was. 60 caliber rim fire round. It was fucking huge. I'll see if I
What
can
is
find it.
wrong with these people?
They were British, and it was the early pioneering days of firearms.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Let's see. Hold on.
Jesus Christ, Johnson.
Easy killer.
You're a mess.
Easy killer.
You know, it'd be a lot quieter if there wasn't beer cans laying all over the floor.
There was one.
Yeah, just
Like
one.
I said,
Just one.
would be easier if there wasn't beer cans laying all over
So,
the floor.
Box, do you have a did you have a baddest dude of the week this week?
I
Or
told
did
you before we
didn't go
started
and cover it?
this.
It's
I
the,
said no. I
it's-
mean, I can come up with one.
That's the middle one. That's a big ass 60 caliber rimfire.
Boy, that's a fat chub.
Yeah.
What's the one on the left?
I think that's like a 45 actually.
It's pretty serious rimfire.
I'm pretty serious.
And I think the one on the right's like a 477 or some shit.
Interesting. Hey, Johnson, are you ready for the old douches of the
Oh
week?
man, what a douche!
Yes? No? Maybe so.
I am. What a douche! So the douche this week is a woman. So there was a woman who was actually arrested and charged with multiple felonies. It was played off originally as a twisted prank, but when it came to charges and her actually being, charged with felonies, it wasn't so much a joke. There was a woman in New York State in Pennsylvania State, was arrested with terroristic threats and using a biological agent. she had coughed. She had come into a grocery store and purposefully coughed on the entire produce section.
Yeah, that lady.
Did they test her? Did she have the corona?
I don't know that they tested her, but she pretended as she was coughing on all of the produce, and before she was arrested, she just walked around. Basically, she walked into a grocery store, pretended that she had the coronavirus, and coughed all over all kinds of shit.
Was acting like a dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Basically acted like she had the coronavirus and walked around and coughed on all the fresh produce, all the vegetables, all, basically anything that wasn't in a box. She walked around and coughed on it and sneezed on it and spit on it and basically pretended that she was...
I hope she goes to jail for a very long time.
She did. She was arrested on multiple... It was multiple felonies.
Felonies, huh?
Yes.
Really?
The guy in
They
the,
made-
the
they
guy in
made
the Missouri
sure-
got arrested for terrorist threats.
Yeah, so they made
For doing
sure...
He was doing the same shit?
Okay,
Licking
so,
shit, yeah.
So
see
they...
those-
Why would you do that? I mean, like, what the f*** possesses
People
these
are
people?
stupid. So the two...
Can we just take them all back? 9
Shoot.
cents, done.
She was arrested with 2 felonies. Arrested and charged with 2 felony accounts of terrorist threats, 1 felony count of threats to use a biological agent, and 1 felony account of criminal mischief. She also faces misdemeanor counts of criminal attempt to commit retail theft and disorderly conduct.
The threat thing,
So,
I don't
also-
get. I feel like they're just throwing whatever they can at him. Because
Yeah,
how is
same
that a
old
threat?
stuff.
They're literally acting on it. It's not a threat.
So also...
Because it's only perceived. It's not necessarily actually happening.
So like what this woman, when she got to the grocery store, she was actually threatening workers and telling them that she's like, I have the coronavirus, and was coughing and spitting on things, and like was actively spitting on items and spitting at workers.
So if you think of somebody
Yeah,
not,
but she's not the only one that's been charged with terrorist threat. That the guy in Missouri did too. He
Right.
wasn't going around. He was just walking through videoing himself licking stuff.
yeah.
I don't understand how that's a threat. Or
because
I
you
don't
don't know for positive, or if they have the Rona.
it's still
Regardless,
It's still
not
a
what
threat.
threat is though.
no, but regardless, that guy. And
No, I'm not
Yeah.
disagreeing.
Well, have
there.
you seen these?
yeah, no, I agree with you.
There's got to be
I-
something else
yeah.
to charge him with.
Yeah.
Have you seen these fucking Looney Tune TikTok kids that are going around licking airplane seats and whatnot? How fucking we live in a like this doesn't surprise me at all. You're a douche of the week because we live in a time where it's some form of challenge to go and lick a fucking airplane toilet seat or spit fucking hand sanitizer out of your mouth and light it on fire and burn your own face and eat Tide Pods. It's this doesn't surprise me. Our race is doomed.
No, we're not. There's just a lot of idiots. That's how it's always been.
Yeah.
But
They're just
yeah,
more prevalent nowadays.
Yeah, so
Are they more
So,
prevalent, or has social media
this-
just exposed them?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're
Yeah,
social
right.
media just makes them more
Yeah. well known.
noticeable to everybody.
And this woman caused more than $35,000
had to be thrown
in
out.
damages. Yeah, because the grocery store that she was in didn't know.
Wasn't going to take a chance.
Yeah, they didn't know what she had coughed on, what she hadn't, what she had sneezed on. You know, they didn't know what the hell she had come in contact with or had blown her nose on. So they were like, hey, we got to get rid of all this shit. So they got rid of basically all their fresh produce.
Which is
Yeah,
hard to
so-
come by nowadays. A lot of people are buying that shit up.
Yeah, and they had to.
Mhm.
What else were they going to do? So,
A couple weekends ago when I was in Emmitsburg, when I was absent for the last podcast, we went and got a pizza from Casey's at like 1:30 in the morning or something like that, and they didn't have it ready, so I had to stand there and wait for them. And there was a bunch of high school kids in there, and they're all obviously hammered, being douchebags. And there was one of them marching around like flailing and stuff, just chanting, "I have coronavirus! I have coronavirus!" Like thinking it was hilarious. I'm like, dude, what the f*** are you doing? Just get the fuck out of here. It pissed me off.
Did
They were
Colin-
all being total douches about it.
Did Colin have pneumonia when you were over
Yes.
there?
Yes.
Did he hang out with you? Did you guys get
We
to
went
hang out a
over
little
there
bit?
and talked to him a little bit, but yeah, he wasn't supposed to leave the house for 5 days.
So you just hung out with Clint and Brittany?
Yeah,
How are they?
very good.
They don't have the Rona?
No, they don't have the Rona.
How many kids do they got? Like now, fucking 7?
3? Good
So they
guess,
had
though,
one.
bud.
Did they have twins or some shit?
No.
So they've had 3
They've
different
had
kids.
3 kids at the normal kid rate.
Okay, all right.
You know, roughly 9 months to 3 years.
So here's a question: If Knoxville still happens this year, are they gonna come up and go with us, or
I asked, like, when I
You think
asked them last time they were up, they were all about it, but they didn't seem so sure this time. But I don't know.
I haven't seen Clint for a long fucking time.
What is going on over here?
Clintney. I haven't seen Clintney for a long time.
Clintney?
Clinton Brittany. Clintney.
It's their power couple name.
Yeah, I haven't seen either one of them in years.
When was the last time they were at Knoxville with us?
What do we call Johnson and
That was
Chabray?
two-
Johnson?
I don't know, man.
It was like 2-3 years ago. It's been a while.
We don't know.
I feel like we're really floundering here. We're talking about like personal friendships and shit that nobody gives two shits about.
goddamn
Give me a
about-
second. I was on the way out.
Yeah, everyone's already gone.
Yeah.
You guys have no fucking faith. No faith
No,
whatsoever.
I know when people get bored.
I think Wade and Miles are still
I
listening
would have
at this
already
point.
been bored.
So, oh my god, you guys are. Oh, okay. Just
Okay, bye guys. That's the end.
all right. I guess we're done. So we're just gonna check out. But yeah, thanks for if you've been hanging around, let us know. Shoot us a message so I can rub it in Box's face. His smug little face.
We got
Little
these
bird face.
these new Gears and Beers stickers. We'll
do?
send you if you hear this and you listen to the whole episode, let us know and maybe we'll send you one.
Ooh, hold
no,
on.
we won't.
Because I
Maybe
really-
the
I
first
actually wanna
person,
know.
the first person that makes it through and
Hold on.
tells me they make it through, I will 100%
No.
send you.
We need a code word.
code word. Yeah.
Penis.
No.
If you
I
hear
feel
the
like
phrase,
I
the
feel
chair
like-
is
What do we
against
need a
the wall.
code word? Just tell
Yeah,
me
right?
you fucking listen to it, and the first one that tells me they fucking listen to it,
That's-
I'll send
that's
them.
weird.
No, we gotta have a code
The
word.
safe
It's
word
gotta
is
be
whiskey.
Whiskey.
funny. No,
With
no,
an
no,
H.
No.
Safe word screwball.
Mm.
Yep.
The safe.
That'll
If you made it to the end and you heard the word screwball right before the podcast ended, you get a sticker.
Send Life Short Live
Yeah,
Free the
screwball.
word screwball.
That's it. I think
Screwball.
that'll work.
I will send you a Gears and Beers sticker.
Yeah,
and
screwball.
if you want a sticker and you're not the first one to do this, tune in on Wednesday night, 7 or 8:30 Central Standard Time. And well, I'm not sure how we're gonna do it yet. We're gonna have some trivia or fucking some shit. Either
Or
way,
maybe it'll just be raining stickers.
Can I be in charge of the trivia?
sure, as long as it's not completely ridiculous.
It can't be any worse than the Would You Rather shit.
Oh, that was fun.
But if I'm doing the trivia, it doesn't have to be gun related, right? It can be.
No,
like,
it can be anything.
oh,
So
yeah.
anyway,
I feel
yeah,
like
tune out-
it's Gears and Beers. It'd be fitting. We just decided to make it all about
It's gonna be
gear,
soldier
and now we're
related.
changing it to not about gear.
It's gonna be soldier related, all right? Just not in the last 1,500 years.
1,500
Ooh.
years. So we're gonna go
Alright,
back to
so-
Anyways, tune in on Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can win some shit. We'll send you some Gears and Beer stickers. Either way, it's going to be interesting. And if you made it this long, you can tolerate us clearly. So just go and check it out, and you'll have. It'll
And
be a
by
good
the
time.
way, you're gonna win something, even if Toad doesn't decide that you win. 'Cause
I'll
if
give you a
can't
hint. If you've
remember
made
that-
it this far, I'll give you a little research, a little homework. So everybody's
Jesus
heard of the
Christ.
Carthaginian general Hannibal. Took the mountains, or the elephants across the mountains, the Alps. His last,
Hannibal Lecter.
his last name was Barca. What was his father's name? If you can tell us that on the Wednesday night, Gears and Beers.
You know, everyone can just Google it.
Exactly. That's why I'm giving
That's
you
okay.
homework. Nobody else knows this but me.
Well, you know this is not going to be released until after.
But at least they'll have listened all
no,
the way
this
to
is
the
not
end
going to
of
be
it.
released until next Monday.
I know, but at
It's
least
the,
they'll have
it's the
listened
Monday,
to all
it's
the way
the
to the
Monday
end.
before the live, though.
Yeah, but
We're gonna do the live on Wednesday, like in 4 days.
All right, yeah. You're
At
right.
least they listen to the end. At
Either
least
way,
they listen to the
just
end.
you know what? Tell me you want a fucking sticker. I'll send you a goddamn sticker. We'll just call it good.
No, we're
Fuck
doing
it.
trivia. You Sam.
Anyways, guys, thanks for sticking around. It's been fun. It's been a shit show. Johnson's all sorts of happy and goofy, and
It
you
He's
know,
something.
It just seems silly.
we're having a good time. But guys, I hope you're all being safe. We'll all make it through this shit. Just be a good person, be American, and we'll all get through this shit. And remember, we'll be here for you. Fucking 2 weeks from now, we're gonna publish another one because goddamn it, that's what we do.
Yeah, Box
We'll
will
be
have the
there.
Rona by then.
Don't touch each other's faces.
Yeah, don't. Yeah,
Wear
don't.
your face condoms. By that I mean N95 masks.
So guys, thanks for sticking around. Like I said, 2 weeks we'll be back. And until we talk to you next time, remember, this shit too will pass. And then until we talk to you next time, remember, life's short, live free. God bless.